You know what's a weird rabbit hole that I've gone down recently? And because I went down this rabbit hole as a YouTuber, I'm gonna be taking you down this rabbit hole with me. AI children's books. Yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like. I guess due to the rise of AI, and then Amazon has their whole Amazon self-publishing thing as well. There's been a big rise in AI children's books, and I just want you to go on this journey with me because it is so interesting. So this is the first book that we're gonna look at because when I was scrolling on Amazon, I kept getting ads about this book. It was like one of those Amazon video feed ads. So as you're scrolling, it's literally a video of the person talking about the book and they're like shaking the book around. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to click it because literally every single page I kept getting this book. But this book is titled Ventures with Volleyball Vanessa, A Tale of Entrepreneurship, the Young Money All-Star Series. This was published in 2023, and I'm not gonna name the author because, again, disclaimer, don't send hate to any parties involved. This is not to send hate to the authors or anything like that. I just want to take a look at these AI coloring books with you guys so we can go down this rabbit hole. It's so intriguing. But it seems like the content of this book is teaching kids entrepreneurship through the lens of sports. And this person has like a whole little series about this as well, like with other books like this. But let's just take a look at the cover because I did an absolute double take when I took a look at this cover because what in the hands is going on here? Our poor girl Vanessa has like alien fingers. I'm at a loss of words. And not to mention the orange glass just absolutely melting into her hands. I mean, because this was published in 2023, it's probably like one of the earlier versions of AI art. So the garbled up fingers are even more atrocious than this one. And then, we have our money falling from the sky. But I also want to point your attention to the volleyballs on the floor and then the legs that belong to nobody. We just have 3 sentient feet below the table with no bodies for the legs to attach to. And not to mention that Vanessa's dress has like a backpack strap, except she's not wearing a backpack. Looking at the reviews, it looks like a lot of the readers were very satisfied with, I guess, what they were reading, the contents of the book potentially, but I just think the photos in there is very interesting. We have another photo of our girl Vanessa with like money and a floating volleyball. And then, oh God, another AI photo. The hands, the oranges. Oh Lord. I'm at a loss of words. And again, we have kind of like disembodied people in the background. There's like an umbrella, but like on a human body. Vanessa's got a second side business we don't know about. All the reviews is just AI photos. I mean, we do have a snippet of the chapters though, a screenshot provided to us by one reviewer, and it reads, "You should always expect the unusual. That's what Vanessa had learned from running her own business. Period. She tried to plan for everything. Period. But she couldn't protect herself from all problems. Period. One morning, she started work at her lemonade stand. Period. And she ran into many issues that she hadn't expected. Period." I don't know if this is just how like books aimed at teenagers are supposed to read. I'm sure the lesson in parts, running your own business starts with, well, you will encounter problems that you won't be able to foresee and it will throw a wrench into your plans. I'm sure those are like great lessons to impart, and this book probably has all of that. Just me, I read a lot of books. I read a lot of YA, a lot of fantasy, a lot of romance. So not, I guess, self-help. But I will say my pet peeve with writing is when the sentence structure after sentences is all the same. Like subject, verb, period, subject, verb, period. When all sentences are written like that, personally, it is a humongous pet peeve of mine. I read a Zutara fanfic. Well, it was like advertised as a Zutara fanfic, but it was a self-published book on Kindle Unlimited. And I could not sit through like the first 10 pages. The author said they wrote it in 3 days. You can tell because every single sentence follows a sentence structure like that, and there is no creativity within the language. It just drove me insane. Sorry, my little tangent about the writing. Yo, I like the creativity in the names, but again, it's AI. The words on the chest are not words. The hand goes into the mitt, but like it's the wrong way. Like it inserts into the wrong way into the mitt. So yeah, and then there's just one really long strip of money down here, which is funny. Next, another author that I found. So this book is titled Rise of the Cyber Threats, Crusaders of the Cold Realm. I don't think I need to say very much on this cover, guys. This is very AI. I just think it's so funny how AI gave them all the same hair too. Like exactly the same hair texture across all 3 characters. Same style, same length, everything. I guess this guy has an undercut. And this same author has another book titled Freya the Ferocious, where we have AI looking dog and a wolf and a tiger cat in the background. Go Freya, go. I think that their name is I Love, Princess I Love's Unexpected Guess. And it features a blonde princess in a blue gown, very reminiscent of Cinderella, holding a big old map. And she is looking off into the distance. It's giving really uncanny valley. It's like the way AI drew her eyes, it's so odd because they have her eye, right? And then she has an eyelid crease, but the eyelashes are on the eyelid crease instead of her eyeliner, like where her eyeline is just not how anatomy works. So it's a little bit interesting. Hey, I mean, AI gave her a double lip line though. Represent. I have a double lip line as well. But yeah, we're seeing again a lot of similar features of AI. Like a big one with AI hair is that they'll make the hair come out and then it will curve back into the head and go back into the head, which is kind of what we see here. She does have the correct amount of fingers, what looks like. One thing that I think is interesting is the dress though, because she's wearing a princess gown, right? But the gown on the right half of her dress is not the same as the left half of her dress, right? You see there's like frills on this side, but on the left side, all the ruffles are gone. Just interesting. And then, the AI detailing on the gate is definitely seals the deal. Not to mention the brickwork. This one is very interesting. Princess who dreamed of meeting a unicorn. It's not even for me the floating book or the unicorn that is like hastily slapped onto the book or the floating princess, but it is actually the amalgamation of what is happening with the trees in the background that really gets me because it looks like there's like well, it looks like a garbage bag. I'm not saying this to try to be mean. It's just that's genuinely where my brain went to first. And then we have a tree that then blends into another tree, right? These are like two different types of leaves, three different. We have like vines in the background and fungi. By the way, I do want to add too that like this is again not necessarily flame to the authors because a lot of times the author themselves did not make the cover. Well, sometimes they might have gone to an AI generator and then like made the cover themselves. Sometimes they freelanced it, and like hired somebody else and then somebody else that they hired gave them AI and they just didn't know because they're not an artist. So again, I just want to say, don't go out of your way to go like harass the authors, etc. A fair chance the author did not know it was AI. I just want to point that out. Got another book, Breezy and Bila, The Great Train Ride. So this one has, in my opinion, a lot better like graphic design than maybe some of the other books that we've seen. The way the fonts curve to kind of match the beams at the top, the font colors actually match the book. It's just a shame that the art is AI. This is not human artwork. A couple of things we could look at, the cat has 4 toes in the front paw, but only 3 in the back. In the same cat, mind you. Again, the irises being drastically different, right? Like, well, not drastically, but the whites in the eyes, there's 2 whites in the left eye, only 1 in the right eye. Again, in the background, we have what looks like one person walking, what looks like a mole and some random figures. Ceiling beams that don't connect into anything. It just disappears into nothing. More ceiling beams that disappear. And the absolute wonkiness with the lines going up with the window up here and then the window of the train melting in the background. These are all really, really big flags of AI right here. I just also think it's funny that it says copyrighted material on the back. I don't know how copyright laws and AI works. Like, I don't know how that intertwines together because I'm not an attorney. I also think one thing is funny to note. This book is titled Breezy and Bila, right? So we're talking about 2 cats, one named Breezy and one named Bila. This one's Breezy, I'm pretty sure, right? So note, Breezy in this book has yellow orangey eyes. And then here we have another book about Breezy titled Breezy's Big Day, but Breezy's eyes are now green. So I just think that's funny. But even the text in this artwork is AI. We can see here the butterfly wing melts into the text. The curl of the S is like melting into the background and this G is like it's shaped like a figure 8, but it's not one of those where it's like the font did that. It's like AI is like glitching it. You can kind of see the fuzziness around the text. Yeah. This one is a different style. We have sparkling dreams and magical creatures, featuring a fairy with 2 different shaped eyeballs, with also a unicorn horn, a unicorn that is missing the other leg. The right leg is here, and we're missing the left leg. And if you just look at the details in the foliage around the 2 figures, the fairy and the unicorn, the foliage gets a little interesting, as you see here, with things. It looks like I don't know what's going on here. Right, there's like an eye here on the tree branches that bend into funky shapes, a plant or a leaf or a ladybug. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I just think this one's very interesting. And then the final book we're gonna look at, Inspiring Stories for Boy Athletes. This one is probably the most egregious, maybe. We have 3 smiling boys on the cover. 2 of them have no whites in their eyes, so they look absolutely devoid of life, and it's giving Uncanny Valley. But we got a boy holding a basketball in the center where the basketball is like not even shaped properly. The boy on the left is holding a baseball bat, but his fingers are kind of like melting into it. The boy on the right, though, the boy who's supposed to be playing lacrosse. I'm sorry, I'm not an athlete. I'm an esports athlete, guys. Bro's left arm's gone. Poor kid. In the description, we have more AI art images of, here's a boy playing football with like 10 fingers on his hands. I think the most interesting thing is this review that was left, though, that drops 3 stars and it reads, not proofread, this book reads like it's a quick smash and grab attempt at making money from a book. The text is okay. The imagery is a bit naff and screams of AI. The book is littered with QR codes, seemingly in an attempt to generate leads. Whilst the book is aimed at boys, it's saying that QR codes will help girls. That's what makes me think the book hasn't been proofread when copying and pasting whatever AI spits out. And a couple of photos are attached. With this AI, it's respectful Reggie. We have an AI photo of a boy holding a trophy, and it reads, Reggie was the best player on his soccer team, a real star and very popular among his teammates. He scored in almost every game, and everyone in the audience cheered his name. Reggie, Reggie! He could hear the cheering voices. As time went by and his skills on the field grew, he became more and more popular. But it seems as though the fame got to his head. And then, there's some more writing. But here we have the QR code. Think more boys should read this book? It's through your support and reviews that my book is able to reach the hands of more girls. Please scan the QR code below to leave a review, yada, yada, yada. I think that's interesting. Maybe it was something from like a previous book. Maybe the author made books for girls and just never changed the graphic and added it in there. I do think the idea of leaving a QR code in a book for reviews is kind of interesting, though. I've read a lot. I read like 50 books last year. I've never had a book have a QR code in it, as far as the ones I've read anyways. If you're a book enjoyer, guys, comment down below what your favorite book is. My favorites probably Kingdom of the Wicked or Fourth Wing are probably my 2 favorites. I'm a big romantasy reader, and my most recent 5-star read is First Time Caller. Love that book. That was chef's kiss. So anyways, this was just a humorous little look through at AI books, so we can all look at it, we can all hee have a little laugh about it. Again, don't send hate to the author at the end of the day. Sometimes it is because the author is trying to do a quick little cash grab, okay, and they went to ChatGPT and they went to Midjourney and then combined the two together and uploaded it to Amazon. Many times the author wrote a book and they needed a cover, and they're not an artist, so they went and freelanced a cover from somebody, and maybe that freelancer gave them AI. So there's a fair chance the author had no idea. So anyways, with that, I hope you guys like this video. If you would like, I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe. Let me put a QR code on my screen so you can scan this QR code to go and leave me a good 5-star review. Sorry, I'm playing. But instead of a QR code, you should go check me out on Etsy because I have art there. And check me out on Coffee as well because I do have free resources, including coaching on there. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. By the time you see this video, I'm going to be in Japan. I'm going to Japan and Korea for 3 weeks. I'm going to be having a lot of fun. And check me out on Instagram. I have 2. I have a main Instagram, Cat Liente. People keep on following me when I post pictures there. So I started using an alternate Instagram where I post pictures. So all the travel photos will be going on my alternate Instagram called CatLiente_IRL. So I'll be catching you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.